Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Woodbine Mohawk Park on this Friday morning. We have an 11-race qualifying session coming up. Horses for the first qualifier are out on the racetrack. No changes when it comes to scratches, but a few driver notes to pass along. Louis-Philippe Waugh will drive number 2, Guilty of a Good Time, and Trevor Henry to drive the 4, Diva on the Town. 11 races in total set for today. We will take an intermission following qualifier number 6. What are you looking at? So the horses are lining up for the first qualifier. 2-year-old Pacers here. Number 1, the Magic Mimi, is a Bettor's Delight filly owned by John Pentland, Peter Charlton, and Archie Leach. John Pentland trains. Bob McClure will drive. $34,000 yearling buy. 2 is Guilty of a Good Time, a 2-year-old filly by Sweet Lou, owned and bred by Karen Carroll, trained by Mike Bishop. Louis Waugh steers. 3 has Got the Gold, a Bettor's Delight filly owned by Let It Ride Stables, O'Sullivan Racing, James Miller, and Clay Horner. Tony O'Sullivan trains. Sylvain Filion to drive, a $60,000 yearling purchase. Mm-hmm. 4 is Diva on the Town, Big Jim filly. Jacques Roussin is the owner. Stefan Larocque trains. Trevor Henry will drive. 5 is Sue Ellen Hanover, a Bettor's Delight filly owned by Landmark 14, Hudson Standardbred Stable, and David McDonald. Sean Stacey trains. James McDonald will drive, $30,000 yearling buy. And 6 is Classic Venus, a Sunshine Beach filly, owned and bred by Brad Grant. Scott McEnany trains, and Phil Houdon is in the sulky. And they're off-hand pacing here in qualifier number 1, and from the outside, Classic Venus will shoot out to the early lead. Sue Ellen Hanover to that one's inside will slide away second. Then into third is Diva on the Town. Then getting away in fourth, that is the Magic Mimi. Racing fifth, Got the Gold. And your early trailer is Guilty of a Good Time. Around the first turn they go, and it's Classic Venus on the front. Second qualifier for this daughter of Sunshine Beach. She leads it by a length and a half, and she comes to the opening quarter in 31-1. On to the backstretch, and it'll be Classic Venus in control. We'll see if they pick it up a little bit off that 31-1 opener. Racing right behind the leader in second is Sue Ellen Hanover. Racing then about 3 or 4 lengths back is Diva on the Town in third. Fourth is the Magic Mimi, followed fifth by Got the Gold, and your trailer 6 is Guilty of a Good Time. McDonald can't wait. He's got to put Sue Ellen Hanover around to the front now, and Sue Ellen Hanover takes over the top spot just before the half, which is reached in 1 minute and 3/5. So they definitely picked it up there, as that was 29-2 in the second quarter. On to the final turn they go. Sue Ellen Hanover is now your new leader, the daughter of Bettor's Delight. Second qualifier for her. She rallied from 5th to finish 2nd in her debut qualifier back on July 2nd. She leads it by a length and a half. Classic Venus in second, inside to Magic Mimi. On the outside now is Diva on the Town. Then we go back to Got the Gold. And your trailer, likely making a miscue well back now, is Guilty of a Good Time. 3 quarters was reached in 1:30-3, 30 seconds even in the third quarter. Into the stretch, it is Sue Ellen Hanover. Classic Venus will look to come back on and try and take back her top spot that she held in the early going. She's a length and a half away. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. Sue Ellen Hanover. Classic Venus on the outside is continuing to get a little closer. So these two will battle down to the line as they come towards the finish. Sue Ellen Hanover at the inside. Classic Venus on the outside. These two coming right down to the finish line. Sue Ellen Hanover wins it. Classic Venus was second. Then third went to Got the Gold. Back to the Magic Mimi, followed by Diva on the Town. And then it'll be Guilty of a Good Time. Time of the mile, 1:59-2. Starting gate now rolling for our second qualifier. There are no changes here. 2-year-old trotters for qualifier number 2. Number 1 is Twin B Archie, gelded son Archangel, owned by Scott McEnany, Dominic Chiravalley, Floyd Marshall, and Mart West Racing Stable. McEnany trains, James McDonald drives, a $52,000 yearling. The 2 is the Champ, Archangel colt, owned by Caroline Holiday, who's also the breeder. Dave Holiday trains, and Ryan Holiday will drive. 3 is Mass Attack, gelded son of Muscle Mass, owned by Peter Clements, Barry Clegus, trained by Peter Clements. The driver is Scott Young. 4 is Rose Run X-Man, Uncle Peter gelding. Steve Heimbecker and Michael Guerrero share ownership. Dave Maneri trains. Jody Jameson will drive, a $47,000 yearling. 5 is Century Asaya, Muscle Mass colt, owned by Dr. Sheila Atmore, Ron Waples Jr. Jason Ryan drives for Waples, a $20,000 yearling. 6 is Northern Ironman, a Cadabra colt, owned by Yolanda Fellows, Blair Corbeil, and Patrick Dillon, along with Arpad Zabo. Rob Fellows trains. Louis Waugh drives, $24,000 yearling. And 7 is Quick Fix, a Resolve colt, owned by John Copus Stables and Clay Horner, along with Dry Bar Stables. John Copus trains. Chris Christopher drives, $15,000 yearling. Starting gate approaching the top of the stretch. No changes here for the second. 2-year-old trotters, a field of 7 assembled. Gate picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and trotting. A few of them leaving here. Quickest away appears to be Mass Attack. Right to that one's outside was Rose Run X-Men. And here's Northern Ironman powering up in the early going to grab the front and gets a few lengths of separation in the early going. So to the front goes Northern Ironman. Rose Run X-Men looking to get around Mass Attack. There's the Champ getting away 4th from the rail. Twin B Archie 5th. Then we go back to Century Asaya, and your early trailer is Quick Fix. To the opening quarter, it was trotted in 30-2, and your leader is Northern Ironman. Off stride just after the quarter went Rose Run X-Men. Rose Run X-Men jumped it off. So off a 30-2 opener, Northern Ironman fronts them up the backside, leading it by a couple of lengths. Mass Attack is second. The Champ races in third. 4th is Twin B Archie. Then 5th is Century Asaya. 6th is Quick Fix. And then it's just a couple of lengths back to Rose Run X-Men, who is reset after that first turn break. Loose lead here for Northern Ironman. Northern Ironman coming up to the half. It was trotted in 102-2. So that's a 32-second breather in the second quarter. And on to the final turn goes Northern Ironman, up 2-length advantage over Mass Attack. Following closely behind third is the Champ, Twin B Archie, right on his nearest rival's back. Then it is Century Asaya. 6th is Quick Fix. And Rose Run X-Men is about 9 lengths from the front and the trailer on to 3/4. Northern Ironman with the lead. Now to the outside comes Mass Attack. Mass Attack angling to the outside. Ready to make a stretch bid, it appears, but Northern Ironman maybe kicks it up a little bit. 134 for 3/4, so they should be sprinting on home. And at the inside is Northern Ironman. On the outside is Mass Attack. Widest of them all is the Champ. Twin B Archie in behind rivals will look to split his way through. 1/8 of a mile remaining. New leader becomes Mass Attack, and here comes Twin B Archie. And Twin B Archie slipped to the outside, splits rivals, and trots home strongly to take it. Twin B Archie by a length. Second went to Mass Attack. Third was Century Asaya getting in for that spot. Time of the mile, 2:03 flat. Third qualifier up next, 2-year-old Pacers. We're going to scratch number 3, Beat Reporter, and number 7, Whiskey Break. Brings us down to a field of 5. Number 1 is Riley, a gelded son of War We Needy, owned and bred by Dan and Kim Sargent, trained by Blake McIntosh. James McDonald drives. 2 is Village Juror, a Thinking Out Loud colt, owned by Angela MacArthur, trained by Tony Beaton. Scott Young will drive. $24,000 yearling. 3 is Out for a Century Iglesias, Shadow Play colt, owned by Jack Darling Stables Limited. Darling trains. Jody Jameson drives, $35,000 yearling. 5 is Juju Hanover, Art Speak colt, owned by Bruce McGeen, trained by McGeen, driven by Bob McClure, $10,000 yearling. And 6 is DJ Sealster, a Better's Delight colt, owned by Lindsay and Connie Rankin, trained by Chantel Mitchell. Paul McDonnell drives, $68,000 yearling. Starting gate swings into the stretch. It's a field of 5 for the third. And they're off and pacing, and firing out of there goes Juju Hanover. Behind the gate, DJ Sealster was looking around quite a bit, but he's now down to his business as he's on the outside, and he is charging towards the front for McDonnell. So DJ Sealster going out to the lead. Racing second is Juju Hanover. The other 3 just get away calmly as we go back to Village Juror, Century Iglesias, and Riley is your early trailer. Into the first turn they go, and DJ Sealster crosses over in front of Juju Hanover. The opening quarter was paced in 29 seconds flat. Onto the backside go the rookie Pacers, and they are following DJ Sealster, a Better's Delight colt, leading it by 2 lengths. Juju Hanover is in second. Then it's a break of about 3.5 lengths, going back to Village Juror in third. In fourth, that is Century Iglesias, and Riley, the debuter, is racing there in fifth. They start to tighten up a little bit here in the second quarter, as a comfortable leader is DJ Sealster on the front. DJ Sealster, second qualifier. This time they change up the tactics, and they're going to put him on the lead, and he is cutting the mile. It goes past the half in a minute flat. So that was 31 seconds in the second quarter, and on to the final turn they go. From front to back, about 7 lengths separating this group. DJ Sealster ramping it up a bit as they race by 5/8. The lead is now 2 lengths. Racing second, Juju Hanover. Third is Village Juror. On that one's back. Fourth is Century Iglesias, and Riley is in fifth, and it is DJ Sealster getting some separation. Nearly a 3-length advantage as they head to 3 quarters. Juju Hanover, the Art Speak colt in his debut qualifier, will look to pick it up in the lane as he has still got his eyes set on DJ Sealster, who went by 3 quarters in 1:30-1. Into the stretch, it's DJ Sealster by a few lengths. Back in second is Juju Hanover. Third is Village Juror, Century Iglesias, and at the back is Riley. Under 1/8 of a mile remaining here, and DJ Sealster, the Better's Delight colt, to take care of business here today. He's coming home nicely, looking good at the line to win it by about 3.5-4 lengths. Finishing in second was Juju Hanover. Then it was Century Iglesias, followed by Village Juror and Riley, 1:58-1. Starting gate now moving for the fourth qualifier, 2-year-old Trotters. One driver change. Chris Christopher goes with number 3, CM Save Will GL. One is PC Doubled Down, Galatson Il Sonio Dream, Amy Clements, Curtis Clements, the owner breeders. Curtis Clements trains, Scott Young drives. 2 is Vince's Wheeling, Galatson Wheelin' and Dealin', Determination owns, Luke Blade trains, and Bob McClure will drive. 3 is CM Save Will GL, a muscle mass colt owned by a numbered Quebec Incorporation, Serge Leonard, trained by Dominic Ledoux, Chris Christopher, the driver. 4 is Take a Peek at Me, a Trixton colt owned by Ben Bayerjean, Santo Vena, Diane Ingham, trained by Ben Bayerjean, Sylvain Filion drives. 5 is Stonebridge Zeus, a Resolve colt owned by Van Camp Trotting Corporation, Mortgage Boys Stable, and Blake McIntosh. McIntosh trains Jody Jameson to drive, a $20,000 yearling. 6 is Creed Hanover, a Cadabra colt, Mark Stacy, A.K. Malik Stable, Landmark 14, and B.C. Reichheld Stables, the owner. Sean Stacy trains, James McDonald drives, $80,000 yearling. 7 is Rose Run Excalibur, the Royalty for Life colt owned by Scott McEnany, Dominic Chiaravelli, and Gary Volpe, along with Mart West Racing Stable. McEnany the trainer, Paul McDonnell drives, a $35,000 yearling. And 8 is Just Too Good, gelded son of What the Hill, owned by Percy Elkins, trained by Rob Fellows. Louis Waugh drives, a $22,000 yearling buy. Starting gate picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and trotting. A break at the beginning for Creed Hanover. That one makes a quick miscue, now resets. From the outside, Just Too Good and Rose Run Excalibur come forward. In the center is Stonebridge Zeus. Then we go to Take a Peek at Me, 4th. Racing in 5th in the early going is Vince's Wheeling, followed by PC Double Down, CM Save Will GL, and then your early trailer is Creed Hanover. Into the first turn, and Just Too Good is put to the front. Just Too Good leading it by a couple of lengths here for Louis Waugh. They come to the opening quarter, and it was trotted in 29 and 4. On to the backstretch go the 2-year-old Trotters. Just Too Good leads them by a couple of lengths. Rose Run Excalibur is in 2nd, then racing in 3rd is Stonebridge Zeus. 4th up the backside, Take a Peek at Me. Then it's a couple of lengths back to Vince's Wheeling, followed by PC Double Down, CM Save Will GL, and then it is back to the trailer, Creed Hanover. Coming up to the midway point, and your leader is Just Too Good, a length and a half the advantage. Made a miscue in his qualifying debut a week ago. Looking good on the frontier today. On top by a length and a half, as mentioned, through a half of 101 and 1. Rookie trotters now enter the far turn. Louis Waugh and Just Too Good are showing the way. Rose Run Excalibur is in 2nd. 3rd is Stonebridge Zeus. Followed then 4th by Take a Peek at Me. Vince's Wheeling. Tracked by PC Double Down. 2 lengths into CM Save Will GL. And then pulling up at the half was Creed Hanover. On to 3/4 they go, and it's still Just Too Good in full control here. Past the 3rd marker in 132 and 2. And they are into the stretch. Just Too Good. Going to have to try and fend off Rose Run Excalibur. Rose Run Excalibur off the 2-hole ride to the outside and powering on by, striking the front with an 1/8 of a mile to go. Rose Run Excalibur the leader. Stonebridge Zeus finishing up. He's now into 2nd. Just Too Good trying to hang on. In between horses is Take a Peek at Me. Far outside, Vince is Wheeling with a good final quarter rally to get up into 3rd. But at the line, it's Rose Run Excalibur to win it. Time of the mile, 2:02 and 1. Starting gate moving for our 5th qualifier. Field of 7 2-year-old Pacers. Number 1 is Aladdin Dulac, a Sunshine Beach colt, owned by Louis-Philippe Waugh, Pierre-Luc Waugh, along trained by Eric Nadeau. Louis Waugh drives. 2 is Third Pillar, Better Select colt, Steve Heimbecker, Kenneth Ewan, Michael Guerrero, Maneri Racing, your owners. Dave Maneri trains. Jody Jamieson drives, $60,000 yearling. 3 is Coligny Hanover, Sunshine Beach colt, owned by Anthony Beaton and David Mercer. Beaton trains. James McDonald drives, $12,000 yearling. 4 is Trinity Allier, State Treasurer colt. Denny Samard is the owner breeder. Stefan Larocque trains. Sylvain Filion drives. 5 is Magical Arthur, an Art Speak colt owned by David Lumsden, also the breeder. Tony Beaton trains. Scott Young steers. 6 is War of Will, the Captain Treacherous colt owned by Hut Racing Stable and Blake McIntosh. McIntosh trains. Phil Houdon drives. $75,000 yearling. And number 7 is River Cruise, Better Than Cheddar colt owned and bred by Nora Parks, trained by Paul Reed. Bob McClure drives. And they're off-hand pacing here in the 5th. And flying out of there goes War of Will. Going right with them is Magical Arthur, and these two stride for stride in the early going. Coligny Hanover will watch from 3rd. River Cruise wants to settle into that spot in front of Coligny Hanover. Then we go to 3rd Pillar, 5th. 6 into the first turn, Trinity Allier, and your early trailer is Aladdin Dulac. Going to the opening quarter, Magical Arthur gets it to the front in the early scramble and leads it by a couple of lengths. Opening quarter was paced in 28 seconds flat. So it's Magical Arthur on top by 2. Back in 2nd, that is War of Will. Racing 3rd is River Cruise. 4th is Coligny Hanover. Then it's about 3 lengths going back to 3rd Pillar, who is followed by Trinity Allier and Aladdin Dulac as they race up towards the midway point. The leader is Magical Arthur. Magical Arthur, who was a qualifying winner back on June 25th. Scratched sick out of the OSS Gold last Saturday. Back here this morning, leading it by a couple of lengths, coming up to the midway point, reached in 57 and 4. On to the final turn they'll go, following Magical Arthur. War of Will. He is in 2nd. 2 lengths then to River Cruise in 3rd. On that one's back is Coligny Hanover 4th, followed by 3rd Pillar in 5th. 3 lengths then to Aladdin Dulac, who circled around Trinity Allier as they're by 5/8 and heading towards the 3-quarter marker. It is Magical Arthur in front, a 155 and 4 winner in his debut qualifier. He's leading this one by nearly 2 lengths. War of Will gets a little bit closer at 3/4. Movement on the outside. Coligny Hanover circles around River Cruise into 3rd. 128 for 3/4, and they're into the stretch. At the inside, it is Magical Arthur. War of Will on the outside is trying to get up on even terms. Coligny Hanover's got pace here in the final quarter. River Cruise backing up 4th. 3rd Pillar on the outside. Aladdin Dulac and your trailer Trinity Allier. 16th remaining. Magical Arthur with the lead, splitting through. Coligny Hanover, we saw he had pace, and he knives his way through to come on and take it. Coligny Hanover will win it. 2nd went to Magical Arthur. 3rd was War of Will, followed then by 3rd Pillar, Aladdin Dulac, River Cruise, and Trinity Allier. 156 and 4. 6 qualifier. Horses behind the gate for it. 2-year-old Pacers. This is our final qualifier of the first half. Then we will take a break. We'll have an intermission before we resume with qualifiers 7 through 11. James McDonald drives the 1 Vintage Delight. Jody Jameson drives 3 Phenom Sealster. 1 Vintage Delight, a Better Delight filly owned by Brad Grant, trained by Scott McEnany. James McDonald drives a $72,000 yearling. 2 is HP Mary Sunshine, a Sunshine Beach filly owned by Claude O'Mell, trained by Ben Bayargent, Sylvan filly on to drive. 3 is Phenom Sealster, a Sunshine Beach filly owned by Keith Castle, trained by Matt Dupuis. Jody Jameson drives this $18,000 yearling. 4 is Big Better Hanover, Big Jim filly owned by John Pentland. Jack Darling Stables, Syllabus Stable, trained by John Pentland. Bob McClure drives a $37,000 yearling. 5 is Einhorn is Finkel, Sunshine Beach filly owned by Duncan Brewer and Randall Urquhart. Duncan Brewer trains. Scott Young drives a $15,000 yearling. And 6 is Cloverleaf Cutie, an Art Speak filly owned by Irene Carey, trained by Rob Fellows. Louis Waugh is in the sulky. And they're off and pacing here in the 6. HP Mary Sunshine and Phenom Sealster come away quickly. Phenom Sealster powering ahead. From the outside, Cloverleaf Cutie is forwardly placed. Those 3 get away the quickest as they go Bassus for the first time. At the inside, Phenom Sealster. And Wall wants the front with Cloverleaf Cutie, so they're going to go right on to the top. 3rd is HP Mary Sunshine, getting away in 4th with Big Better Hanover. Into the first turn, Vintage Delight is 5th, and 6 is Einhorn is Finkel. To the opening quarter, and Cloverleaf Cutie seizes command. Opening panel was paced in 29 seconds flat. Onto the backstretch they'll go. Cloverleaf Cutie, the leader. A Phenom Sealster in second. Looked like maybe that one might loop around, but I think we'll be content to ride in the 2-hole as they race up the backstretch. Your leader is Cloverleaf Cutie. Phenom Sealster right on the leader's back in second. Then following tightly 3rd is HP Mary Sunshine, followed by Big Better Hanover. Getting a little jammed up was Vintage Delight, and so too Einhorn is Finkel. So they were getting jammed up in the second quarter, and that's going to force the hand of Big Better Hanover and Bob McClure. They move out from 4th, and they are making a rush towards the top. The half was 1 minute and 3/5, so they were back down 31-3 in the second quarter, and with a rush to the lead, it is Big Better Hanover who takes command. Into the final turn they go. Big Better Hanover now on the front. Second is Cloverleaf Cutie. To the outside comes Phenom, Sealster, and Jameson, and they're coming up quickly to attack the front. HP Mary Sunshine also swings to the outside 4th. Back to Vintage Delight 5th, and on that one's back 6th is Einhorn is Finkel. New leader, Phenom Sealster, comes around and takes the lead at 3/4 in 1:30-2 into the stretch, and it's Phenom Sealster the leader. Phenom Sealster on top. On the outside, HP Mary Sunshine, the half-mile leader. Big Better Hanover is going to look to come up the cones to try and reclaim the top. Cloverleaf Cutie back there in 4th. Einhorn's Finkel and Vintage Delight in behind horses. 16th to go. Up the rail, Big Better Hanover gets the lead back, and Big Better Hanover will take it. On the outside, Einhorn is Finkel will try and edge out HP Mary Sunshine for second. Tight for the remainders. It was Cloverleaf Cutie at the inside, Vintage Delight, and then it was Phenom Sealster 6. Time of the mile, 1:59-4 for Big Better Hanover. Here we go for the 7th qualifier, 3-year-old and up pacers. Scratch number 2, Jody Jameson driving number 6, Cherish the Moment. From the inside out, it's Control the Thong, James McDonald. Sarone Sealster, Trevor Henry. Surreal Martini, Jay Harris. Kincaid Sealster, Mario Barjan. Cherish the Moment, Jody Jameson. On Cruise Control, Mark Goddard. Pacers for the 7th qualifier lined up. Starting at picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and pacing from the outside on Cruise Control. Is flashing speed and just strides out to the top. Gets a quick 5 lengths on them. Back in second, that is a Surreal Martini. Outside third is Kincaid Sealster. Then we go to Sarone Sealster, followed by Cherish the Moment. And from the rail, Control the Thong will get away in sixth. Heading into the first turn, and your leader is on Cruise Control. Fronting them by about 3 lengths now is in second is Surreal Martini, and that one's going to get right back up onto the leader's back. A little steppy, though, as Jay Harris tries to keep that one together. The opening quarter was 28-2. To the outside comes Kincaid Sealster, just trying to avoid a Surreal Martini there, who was a little green in that first turn. 28-2 is the opening quarter on Cruise Control, your leader by about a half dozen lengths. Into second now goes Kincaid Sealster. A Surreal Martini is then in third. Back fourth, that is Sarone Sealster, followed fifth by Cherish the Moment, and sixth is Control the Thong. It is a lead of over 5 lengths here at the half. For on Cruise Control, midway point was reached in 57 seconds flat. On to the final turn they will go, and it is on Cruise Control leading it. The 7-year-old leading the younger rivals here as they go by 5/8. Kincaid Sealster is in second, about 10 lengths back then to a Surreal Martini. Sarone Sealster comes to the outside fourth. Cherish the Moment is inside fifth, and at the rail, Control the Thong, your trailer, continuing to pace along in sixth, heading to 3/4. And the lead is starting to shrink a little bit here for on Cruise Control as Kincaid Sealster is starting to get closer, just 3 lengths off the front. 3/4 time, 1:26.2, a 29.2 third quarter. They are into the stretch, and your leader continues to be on Cruise Control. Second is Kincaid Sealster, then back to Sarone Sealster in third, followed by Cherish the Moment, Control the Thong, and a Surreal Martini was taken to the inside on the final turn. Here with under 1/8 of a mile to go, Kincaid Sealster on the outside gets on by, and Kincaid Sealster will take it. On Cruise Control will finish in second, then well back to the rest. Kincaid Sealster stopping the clock in 1:55.4. On Cruise Control was second. A Surreal Martini actually comes back through to get third over Sarone Sealster, Control the Thong, and Cherish the Moment. Here we go for the 8th qualifier, scratching number 4, Macy's Muscles. 2, Elizabetta, will be driven by Mark Stacy. Number 1, Loon Duara, Muscle Mass filly, owned by Ara Delestrie. Trainer drivers Denny Guriel. 2 is Elizabetta. Cadabra filly, owned by Catherine Stacy, A.K. Malik Stable, Guy Haskell, and James Feely. Sean Stacy trains. Mark Stacy will drive, a $12,000 yearling. 3 is Solo TT, a muscle mass filly owned by Hudson Standardbred Stable and Bridle Path Stables, trained by Sean Stacy. James McDonald drives. 4 is out. 5 is Moneyworth, Encore filly owned by Winning Key Incorporated, trained by Paul Reed, Scott Young to drive. And 6 is Epic Thrill, a Cadabra filly owned by RAW Equine, James Walker, and Karen Olson Burgess. Blair Burgess, the trainer driver of this $50,000 yearling. Starting gate approaching the top of the stretch. Field of 5, 2-year-old trotters picking up speed. And here they come. And they're off and trotting from the outside. Epic Thrill is hustling. So too from the inside was Loon du Hurrah. Just her outside is Elizabetta to get away in 3rd. Then 4th, that is Solo TT. And on the outside, Moneyworth. So to the front goes Epic Thrill. And it's Epic Thrill to lead them into the first turn. 2nd from the rail is Loon du Hurrah. Everybody else now gets lined up as it's Elizabetta in 3rd. Solo TT 4th. And Moneyworth in 5th. Around the first bend to the opening quarter. And Epic Thrill is past that opening marker in 30 and 2. Into the backstretch they'll go. And Epic Thrill, second qualifier for this daughter of Cadabra, leading it by almost 2 lengths. 2nd is the debuting Loon du Hurrah for Denny Guriel. Right on that one's back is Elizabetta. Looking to tighten up now from 4th is Solo TT, and 5th is Moneyworth. So no movement in the second quarter. Epic Thrill, who debuted over at Grand River on June 30th, leads them here in the big track debut for the daughter of Cadabra, past the half in 101 and 1. Racing on to the final turn, it is Epic Thrill, the leader. Loon du Hurrah in 2nd, Elizabetta in 3rd. Her stable mate, Solo TT, following in 4th. And then 5th, that is Moneyworth. Rookie trotters around the final turn, following Epic Thrill. And Blair Burgess, they're showing the way in this group of 5. Loon du Hurrah 2nd, looking good in her debut so far. Then 3rd, Elizabetta, Solo TT 4th, and Moneyworth 5th. 3 quarters, 131 and 1. So they'll turn for home off a 32nd third quarter. And Epic Thrill trying to go the distance. Loon du Hurrah comes to the outside, and off the 2-hole trip is looking to power on by. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. Loon du Hurrah now takes the lead. Epic Thrill back 2nd. Here's Solo TT finishing up well, and Solo TT is going to make things tight coming down to the line. Loon du Hurrah at the inside. Solo TT looking to reach up, and Solo TT will get it by a head. Loon du Hurrah was 2nd. 3rd went to Moneyworth, who rallied into that position. Elizabetta 4th, and Epic Thrill 5th. 201 and 2. Starting gate rolling for our 9th of 11 qualifiers. Jody Jameson will drive number 1, Magic Angel Eyes. 2-year-old filly by Archangel. Don Lashide is the owner breeder. Dave Maneri trains. Jody Jameson drives. 2 is Calm Cool Collected, an Archangel filly owned by Mark Stacey, Hudson Standard Stable, Landmark 14, and AK Malik Stable. Sean Stacey trains. James McDonald will drive, a $50,000 yearling. 3 is Chapter 19. Chapter 7 filly owned by Dreamville Stable, Paradise Stable, Harbor Racing Stable, trained by Mike Keeling. Paul McDonnell drives this $55,000 yearling. 4 is Hershey Sealster, a Cadabra filly owned by Millar Farms, trained by Nick Gallucci. Chris Christopher drives a $79,000 yearling. And 5 is Ruby Two Shoes, a Resolve filly owned by Mark Etzel and Robert Newton. Mark Etzel trains. Bob McClure drives a $26,000 yearling. And they're off and trotting here in the 9th, and it'll be Calm, Cool, Collected. Just to stride out to the top. Magic Angel Eyes, the next door neighbor from the inside, gets away 2nd. Then it is Hershey Sealster in 3rd. 4th is Chapter 19. Then 5th is Ruby Two Shoes as they head towards the first turn. To the front went Calm, Cool, Collected, and the daughter of Archangel in her 2nd qualifier is put to the front today by James McDonald, and will show the way to the opening quarter. She's on top by a length and a half. Magic Angel Eyes rides right there 2nd, and then the other 3 are about 7 lengths back. The opening quarter was trotted in 29 and 3. Onto the backstretch they go. Calm, Cool, Collected is your leader. Magic Angel Eyes comfortable right there 2nd, riding on the leader's back. About 8 lengths back then to Hershey Sealster in 3rd. Doesn't look like she's going enough. At least that's what Chapter 19 thinks, as McDonnell will circle around into 3rd, and our trailer is Ruby Two Shoes. They're coming up towards the half, and they are following Calm, Cool, Collected. $50,000 yearling purchase. The Sean Stacey trainee leading them past the midway point in 1 minute and 3/5. That was 31 seconds even in the 2nd quarter. And on to the final turn, the rookie trotting fillies go. It is Calm, Cool, Collected over Magic Angel Eyes. Chapter 19 has nearly joined that top 2, only 4 from the front. Break of 2.5, 3 lengths back to Hershey Sealster 4th, and on that one's back 5th is Ruby Two Shoes, heading to 3/4. And as they head towards that 3rd marker, Calm, Cool, Collected has called the shots through panels of 29 and 3 in 1 minute and 3/5, and races past 3/4 in 1:32 flat. So off the turn and into the stretch here in the 9th, it's Calm, Cool, Collected looking to go coast to coast. Back in 2nd is Magic Angel Eyes. Chapter 19 in 3rd. Hershey Sealster inside 4th, and Ruby Two Shoes tries to finish up well 5th. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. It's still Calm, Cool, Collected. Now taking a shot is Magic Angel Eyes to the outside, late for Jameson. Calm, Cool, Collected in a late fight here. Magic Angel Eyes on the outside, trying to time it perfectly. These two coming to the line. Magic Angel Eyes gets it. 2nd went to Calm, Cool, Collected, Chapter 19, Ruby Two Shoes, and Hershey Sealster, 2:02 flat. Here we go for the 10th qualifier. Trotting hobbles on number 3, I'm a Stand-Up Guy. 1 is All in Resolve, a Resolve colt owned by Brad Grant, trained by Scott McEnany. A Bob McClure will drive, $140,000 yearling purchase. 2 is Commemorative, a Flanagan Memory colt owned by Karen Olsen Burgess and SNR Racing Stable, trained by Blair Burgess. He'll also drive. 3, I'm a Stand-Up Guy. Geldit's on Archangel, owned by Hut Racing Stable and Blake McIntosh. McIntosh trains. James McDonald drives, a $25,000 yearling. 4 is Luxury Brand, Southwind Frank colt, owned by Andrea Lee Racing Stables. Also the breeders. Dustin Jones trains. Tyler Jones to drive, a $35,000 yearling. 5 is Musculus Massa, Muscle Mass colt, owned by Knobloch Racing Stable, TM Racing, and Len Gamble. Ted McDonnell trains. Trevor Henry drives. 6 is Pacific Roll, an Encore colt owned by Winning Key Incorporated. Paul Reed trains. Scott Young steers. And 7 is Caduke, a Cadabra colt owned by Harness Horsepower Inc. Trainer driver is Roger Mayotte. Starting gate approaching the top of the stretch for our 10th qualifier. 2-year-old trotters, a field of 7. Pretty steady stream of drizzle coming down here now. Gate picking up speed. Here they come. And they're off and trotting. And leaving well from the center goes Musculus Massa. To that one's inside, I'm a Stand-Up Guy. Also from the center, Pacific Roll gets into the early mix. Then it is Luxury Brand on the outside, 4th. Inside is Commemorative. Then racing in 5th is Caduke. And All in Resolve is your early trailer, 7th. Trotters go into the first turn, and they're following Musculus Massa. Back here qualifying after making a miscue in that one's career debut. Off stride at the back went All in Resolve. Coming to the opening quarter, and it is Musculus Massa there in 29 and 4. So off a 29-4 opener, Trevor Henry's got Musculus Massa on the lead. 2nd is I'm a Stand-Up Guy. Pacific Roll is in 3rd. Commemorative is racing 4th. Luxury Brand 5th. Goes back to Caduke, and then it's probably 15 lengths back to All in Resolve. To the outside for McDonald is I'm a Stand-Up Guy, and I'm a Stand-Up Guy trying to come around Musculus Massa. These two are going to go stride for stride here a little bit, approaching the midway point, as I'm a Stand-Up Guy is going to have to work to get around as they're past the midway point in 1 minute and 4/5. Around the final turn they will head now, and clearing to command, I'm a Stand-Up Guy. Musculus Massa now relegated to 2nd. Pacific Roll is 3rd. Commemorative follows closely in 4th. 4 lengths back then to Luxury Brand 5th. 6th is Caduke. And then about 15, 20 lengths back to the trailer, All in Resolve. They're heading towards 3/4. 2-length advantage for I'm a Stand-Up Guy. Musculus Massa 2nd, then 3 lengths back to Pacific Roll in 3rd. 4th is Commemorative. A couple lengths then to Luxury Brand. Caduke's move to the outside for Mayotte. 3/4 time, 1:31 and 2. Trotters spin for home. They are following I'm a Stand-Up Guy. Musculus Massa trying to reclaim the top spot. Comes to the outside for Henry. Then we go back to Pacific Roll on the outside. Luxury Brand into 4th. Commemorative 5th. Caduke is 6th. And your trailer All in Resolve. 16th to go. At the inside, I'm a Stand-Up Guy. Musculus Massa on the outside coming back on. And Musculus Massa gets the lead back late and will draw away in the final strides to take it by a couple. Musculus Massa stops the clock in 2:01 flat. Final qualifier on this Friday morning. Turning into a bit of a rainy Friday morning here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. We've got a field of 4. Scratch the 5, Villefranche. Trevor Henry goes with the 1, Belvedere Frankie. Belvedere Frankie and Trevor Henry. Black Hawk Down, Phil Hudon. Blue County, Mark Etzel. Bronze Yankee, James McDonald. That's your field of 4 for the finale. Starting gate picking up speed, and here they come. Off stride is number 1, Belvedere Frankie. And their off fan trotting Bronze Yankee steps out to the front. Bronze Yankee to get early control. Black Hawk Down and Blue County will decide their positions here, which means Black Hawk Down is going to push ahead to second. Blue County drops in behind third, and then still off stride is Belvedere Frankie. Bronze Yankee's going to lead them into the first turn. 4-year-old gelding on the front here for James McDonald and trainer Blake McIntosh. Black Hawk Down, Phil Hudon for Jack Moiseyev in second, and Mark Etzel's got his trainee Blue County back there third. The opening quarter was 29-3. Pulling up was Belvedere Frankie, so that leaves us with just 3 for this final qualifier on this Friday here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Bronze Yankee off a 29-3 opener is leading it. Made miscues and back-to-back starts here at Woodbine Mohawk Park, so getting things back on track is Bronze Yankee here this morning. 3 for 21 this year. A 2-time winner last year as a 3-year-old. Bronze Yankee by nearly 2 lengths coming up to the half in 59-2. So that was 29-4 in the second quarter. Back in second is Black Hawk Down. Just 2 starts in the young racing career for this 3-year-old gelding. And then it's about 4 lengths going back to Blue County, that 3-year-old gelding, also with just 2 starts to this point. So they're following what is the veteran of this field, Bronze Yankee. 36 starts between this year and last year. Bronze Yankee down to 3/4 in 129 flat. So Bronze Yankee will look to finish this one out strong. And into the lane, it's all Bronze Yankee. Black Hawk Down in second, and third is Blue County. 1/8 of a mile to go. Bronze Yankee's going to win this one likely by double digits now. Bronze Yankee and James McDonald will go coast to coast. Battle will be on for second as Black Hawk Down will look to keep that position from Blue County up the inside. Bronze Yankee to take it in the finale. That wraps up today's action, 157-4.